Video brought to you by Morante Plumbing and Oil. Morante.
And we are back, Gmacs and Winnie, coming at you in another edition of the Outlaw Blitz podcast. Big fella, let's get dangerous.
God, do you smell it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, straight fabuloso. Dangerous, buddy. Dangerous. How was air travel? You've had a long week.
Actually, usually I don't have a problem on planes.
Yeah.
Down and back. The fucking cabin pressure sucked.
Where'd you fly out of?
Flew out of JFK to Nashville.
JFK is the worst airport to get to.
And I sat in the last row of the plane, both directions.
God, what airline?
Delta.
All right, at least that's
so I landed Delta.
mildly okay.
I landed Delta. My mom's like, "Thank God you're not in Orlando." I'm like, "I'm in Nashville." She's like, "Yeah, well, there's a plane on fire in Orlando right now from Delta."
Oh, shit.
I'm like, well, good thing I wasn't in Orlando then.
Yeah. How was the weather? Because here...
It rained. So whatever we're getting tomorrow. So what's funny is I had not forgotten, but like, for lack of a better term, forgotten.
Yeah.
Just didn't remember because I haven't lived down there for like 20-something years. The weather they get there, depending on the exact pattern, comes here like a day and a half later. So the heavy rain we're going to get overnight tonight, all through tomorrow and Sunday, is what I had down there, Tuesday and Wednesday. Or Wednesday and Thursday.
Damn, so it's supposed to pour tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
Close. But I can honestly say, driving up here today, really felt like spring finally. The grass is green, the leaves are actually coming on the trees, it's warm, it feels like spring. It really does.
Yeah, it's a nicer day out today. I mean, it's still gray looking, but it'll get there.
So as we record this, WrestleMania's in the past. What do you think? What do you think of the show overall? I wasn't a fan.
No, I do not like the 2-night thing.
It's long.
It's
really long.
We've talked about this and other things. Like NASCAR in the 90s was at its peak, and then around 2003, there's a thing called oversaturation,
which totally happened.
How about when you hear a nice song on the radio, you're like, man, that's a great song. And then when you hear it nonstop,
every third song,
you're like, fuck that song.
Yeah.
And that's what WWE is becoming with WrestleMania. It's just oversaturation.
Now, SummerSlam is going to be in our backyard.
Where's that going to be?
MetLife.
Oh, yeah?
2 nights. Again.
Too long.
If you want to...
3-hour Raw. Too long.
Right. If you want to keep it exclusive as Mania is going to be 2 nights, whatever. It is a long weekend, but I get it because these communities are now buying the rights to host WrestleMania. Vegas looked and said, historically, Easter is our slowest weekend of the year.
How do we...
Yeah. So they paid WWE or TN, whatever the
TNT?
TNT?
Maybe, I don't know.
Whatever company that owns them, $25 million. Bring WrestleMania to us. The stadium rental was free, the arena rental was free, and they paid them money to come in. Because from Tuesday to Monday, the 7-day stretch, they had such an economic influx in their city that it's only
100%.
Yeah. But it does get to be too long.
Yeah, and I don't know. 2 days SummerSlam makes no sense.
Me neither. I agree with that. I don't think so.
The only way I think you could kind of fix it, in my eyes, would be day one be all your undercard type stuff, and your mid-carders be your headline.
Yeah.
And then day 2 is just a continuation where it just continues to build.
Up to the main event.
Right.
Yeah.
As opposed to we're going to split it. We're going to go championship over here and championship over here. Like
Co-main events. In price
like back in the
accordingly.
day, you would have said, okay, the IC strap is the main event of day 1.
Right.
And then day 2 kicks off tag team titles, blah, blah, blah.
World title.
Yeah.
You get your big feud that maybe doesn't have a belt, and then your main event. Yeah. Prices were absurd. Ringside seats were $25,000.
Did you see the picture Punk put up?
No.
It was somebody $440 seat. You couldn't even see the ring.
Oh shit. $25,000 to sit in the ring. The luxury boxes were $100,000. So
I'm glad I went to a WrestleMania because
did.
it's now been priced out of reality.
Right. You saw the quickest title change in history.
Oh yeah, 18 seconds.
Yeah, Sheamus and D-Bry. That was good time for you, I'm sure.
Yeah,
The
but
kids were young. Jern was crying because Sheamus won the world title.
But the thing is about that is that's when it was affordable.
Right.
$400 seat. Now,
did you sweat your nuts off?
It was hot, dude,
right,
to start.
It was because that was Miami. Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Rock Cena 2. It was Rock Cena 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get to him later. But overall, how was the food? You got to see some cool people?
The hotel was amazing. Yeah. Opryland Convention Center.
Had you stayed there before? Because
yes.
I feel like you mentioned that before.
Yes, when my ex-wife was with the 101st Airborne and they got Uday and Kusei when they were in Iraq.
Right.
So they did a big celebratory ball when they came back, and we went there and stayed. And we took the kids there another time and stayed. So it was good. It was good. Beautiful hotel. Everything was good. Food was decent. I ate at Jack Daniel's.
Still not your favorite city in Tennessee.
No, and Nashville is just to me, right? Nashville is a weekend thing, and I'm not a big drinker, and I'm not a big hillbilly music person. I like the live music, all that. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But you got to remember, I live down there. I've done that. So like to go, they're like, "Hey, you want?" I'm like, "I'm good. I'm good. I'll hang out in the hotel.
Yeah.
Have a little gelato, walk around, people watch. Whatever. I'm good.
Chill. Yeah,
chill. The one thing, I mean, I might as well go on my rant now. I got to see Pam Bondi and I got to see RFK Jr.
Yep.
Pam Bondi is the U.S. Attorney General. They just clipped 500 million, I don't know, pounds or pills of fentanyl at the border.
Wow.
And instead of celebrating, so I was at an illicit drug summit, and instead of people celebrating this, they want to stand up and yell dumb shit out. These fucking libs and their blue hair and their crazy bullshit.
It's funny because our favorite weather girl, I talked to her one of the nights that you were there, and she said you had texted that when she started speaking, the libs got up and walked out.
They started walking out, and then this one was like, respect the Constitution. Respect the Constitution. And I was like,
that's not what this is about, though.
And I went, shut the fuck up.
Did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
And people clapped and whatever. It's just stupid. It's not the moment.
Yeah.
So that was day one. It was a little bit, you know what I mean? But then RFK Jr. came.
And you're a huge supporter and fan.
Listen, the bottom line is, again, illicit drug summit.
Correct.
A man who was a fucking addict.
Right.
Who's standing up there telling his story, how he overcame this, how he was an addict, how he knows the things that people are going through.
The pits and the downfalls.
Right. How he stands behind. He told the story of the first ever AA meeting.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal story. Go ahead and tell it.
But I'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
But he talked about how with them saving so much, with them stopping so much drugs from coming in, fentanyl and these types of things.
Right.
And them saving so much money by Canada and Mexico helping now.
Yeah.
And like knocking all this stuff down.
Yeah.
It's given his department all this money to make sure that there's methadone and Suboxone and things that help curb addiction
Right.
and overdoses. So this is stuff that should all be celebrated in
Sure.
that community.
Yes.
And these fucking assholes are walking around with flags that say "cuts kill." He just said he's not cutting it.
Right.
You morons! Like, they're so deaf to the message. They hate the presenter, and they're deaf to the message.
Correct.
And the very first people in that one were directly in front of me. These two absolute fucking pigs are holding up signs about vaccines, this and that, and autism, because he said earlier in the week or last week, he said autism drives families apart. Like it tears families down. And again, I don't like the messenger. That's not what he was saying. Is autism? We didn't have this at grand scale at some point. I think before like 79,
Right,
or 83, before they started putting certain thing in these vaccines. And he's not an anti-vaxxer. And what he was basically saying was, they did something to these vaccines that
Right.
all of a sudden the rise of peanut allergies, the rise of all these different various food allergies,
think about that.
the rise of autism, all skyrocketed.
Right.
That's all he was saying.
If you go back into like the 20s, 30s, 40s, when vaccines for polio were coming out,
Right.
they were to treat and prevent
Right.
what was a deadly disease.
Right.
And you didn't see the outbreak of all these allergies and side effects because they were treating and eradicating a specific thing. So why now in 1979, 1980, this new rash of vaccines comes and now we have an uptick in all this stuff?
Dude, we went to school and everybody brought a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Correct.
Now there's spots you can't bring peanut butter in a classroom.
That was the alternative lunch, if you
Correct.
remember correctly.
Correct. So you know what I'm saying? So this was his message. And I know we both know people that have autism in their families
Yeah.
and stuff. And then get like infuriated over what he said. He's not saying it drove your family. I'm not yours, but
Right.
your family part. What he's saying is it puts an undue burden on people, and instead of attacking why it became what it
Right.
became, we're going to attack the message that autism drives family apart, or puts an undue pressure on families. It does.
Yeah.
It does. It's not saying you love your kid any less.
Right.
Wouldn't you like to know why, though?
Right.
Wouldn't you like to? Maybe your kid didn't have to have that. Maybe there's heavy metals or something in there.
It's the typical, let's make them argue and fight about this so they're distracted from the actual problem that's going on.
Right, but
in a lot of ways.
It just, I say all that to say this. 4 years prior to this, people were pissed off that we had a president that couldn't answer a direct question, right? But you weren't burning cities down. You weren't laying in traffic. You weren't fucking rioting. You weren't.
Oh.
Here's the idea. If you didn't like what that guy had to say, don't go. Don't listen. But you feel that you're so fucking important
Yeah.
that everybody needs to hear exactly what you're going to yell out.
Yeah.
Cuts kill. No shit.
Yeah.
But he didn't cut your stuff, you moron.
Right.
You just fucking yelled out like, there's 30,000 people in this room, but you're the most important person, not the guy standing on stage with the microphone.
Right.
I fucking hate that shit.
A TikTok video when you said people laying down the road, and a guy got out of the car and turned into Sebastian Janikowski and just ran up and punted this dude right in the back, and then drug him off the road and drove his car on through. Like, what are you doing?
I've seen the dude grab a fucking traffic cone and fire it and smoke somebody in the head. Get the fuck out of the way. We're going to work.
Right.
And that's it. And you can pick them out. Like, if I sat in that crowd, you could just go, that one's going to be a problem. This one's going to be a problem. Those two are definitely going to be a problem. And what was funny is the dude sitting right next to me, very, very like, I don't know, like fucking skinny jeans.
Yeah.
With like multicolored socks on. with his legs, not like a man crosses his leg, like the real knee on the back of the knee one. And I'm like, this fucking guy, if he stands up, I'm yanking him right to the ground.
This will be an issue.
This is going to be an issue. And then he started clapping for a lot of shit he was saying. I was like, all right, maybe I'm just a fucking prejudiced jerk off here.
The cool thing is what you just said in the beginning about all the fentanyl they caught at the border and what it's going to allow them to do. It sheds a different light on methadone and Suboxone in that program and what good can come from it. It's a war in and of itself.
100% now here, and I'm glad you said war. And
it may not be guns, but people die.
And they already. So when I go, I learn a lot at these. They've already altered with just the stopping of fentanyl. They've already altered the new thing. So now it's all synthetics. So it's back to, like, you remember how we had K2 and bath salts
and all that shit.
It's back to the synthetics again. Now there's things called gas station heroin that people are getting their hands on. So that's the new wave of shit that you got to try and prevent and stop.
Where the formulas change regularly.
Right. Like say somebody gets picked up by the police and they get brought to the booking process and you pull out something that you think is a blue chew or something like that. They have these things now that you buy at the gas station that if the cops don't know, say smelling salts, this thing is smelling salts. If the cops don't know, that's the new fucking gas station heroin.
Right.
But you don't know.
The old truck stop dick pill.
Right. Yeah. So you don't know. So what's it being hidden as? What's it coming in as?
Yeah. That's
the new thing that you're going to have to try to prevent.
And it makes it harder and harder and harder.
Right. And because people that's the idea that I don't think a lot of people truly understand is if you stopped guns, if you just didn't make them, right? There's very few guns in Europe. There's a fucking shitload of stabbings though.
Yeah, no shit.
Right?
Now when you went over to visit Summer, was it last summer?
The last two summers.
Summers. Their police over there don't carry guns.
Nope. They have a fucking whistle and a baton, bro. And I've only saw for 2 years I was over there for 2 months. Yeah. A month each summer. And I think I've seen 1 or 2 cops total. Think about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like but that's my point. You take away guns, they're going to come up in another way.
Sure.
And they're stabbing people and they're you know what I mean? Like so You take away fentanyl, they're going to come up with something new.
Right. You can't eliminate...
And weed is legal now.
Right.
In most states.
Yeah.
So,
you're never going to eliminate bad, and you're never going to eliminate evil.
A year ago, I was down there, they said crack was back. People were like, no way. We get a lot of crack in this area now.
Sure do.
So, they're saying synthetics are going to be the spot. So, we'll see. We'll see. But, it's just those moments. You get to see these... Here was a guy who was running for president, got to see him, was abandoned by his own party. And that's what kind of pisses me off. He's a fucking Kennedy.
Yeah.
These fucking fruit baskets, if he was a Democrat, they would have cheered everything he said.
Yeah. But because he has an R in front of his
And there was nothing political about what he was saying.
Right.
He was saying, hey, I was an addict. And I understand the trouble that all of you are going through in your various fields. But I'm here to tell you that with the work we're doing on the border and stopping this, it's giving my department back money. And these things are necessary. All things that should be celebrated in that community.
Yeah.
And these fucking assholes chose that moment to stand up and try and create shit. And I just, I think the security should have been a lot more physical with them. Like, literally fired him through the fucking doors. Like cartoon style,
so basically, let Gmac play in the next summit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I want saloon doors, like, where they swing open. Yeah.
Fucking catapult.
Yeah, just fucking shoot them right out there.
Lawn dart.
Yeah, lawn dart. Yep.
Nice. Perfect.
Yeah, I want them like Mike Leach on 4th and goal.
Toss the midget over the goal line.
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome. All right, bud, let's get into our top 5.
This week's top 5 celebrities you wish would just go away. Where did this come from? I was out of town, so you kind of came up with everything today.
Yeah. the top name on my list. I was looking at something on my phone and he popped up, and then Costello and I were talking about something he had ordered and how shitty it came in, and it's just like, all right, this dude, he just needs to go away.
All right, I'll start. Number 5, Ryan Reynolds.
Really?
Yeah, you know what? Ryan Reynolds, I've always kind of liked Ryan Reynolds. I think he's great as Deadpool. He's cocky, he's funny, he's all these things. But this story of the dude with him on Deadpool, the comedian PJ Cooper, maybe. He was in a bunch of shit.
Okay.
He was in She's Out of My League. He played Stainer.
Okay.
Anyway, he was also in Deadpool with him, and he was like, yo, this guy was a fucking absolute asshole to me. Then there's other actresses that say, he was so fucking rude to me that I just asked them to put a tennis ball there and I'll act with that. You can put him in.
So he's like living the gimmick.
And then the whole thing with Blake Lively and him trying to take over that thing, that's all backfired. That guy came with like receipts.
Good.
So it's like, dude, you know, like Ellen back in the day.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's on your list.
She's not.
Because she's kind of gone away.
I chose to keep
certain
politics
yeah.
out. I had one and I removed her.
But my point being, Ellen back in the day, people said she was a bitch.
Right.
And she was nasty. And but that wasn't the persona you got.
Right.
And then ultimately came to find out it was true.
Right.
So Ryan Reynolds, it's probably your time to pipe down for a little bit. You've had a good run.
All right. Number 5 for me, Will Smith.
Yeah.
I'm done with him. For everything he was for us when we were kids.
For all the good.
Right. It's all gone.
Yeah.
I don't care to see him act anymore. The drama that basically erupted with Chris Rock.
Your wife cucked you.
Right. And now you're bitter over it.
Right.
And you're going to take it out on a comedian. Listen,
on a guy who's your friend.
Your friend. And you know what he's about. You
right.
can't take that shit. Don't ever go to a roast because fuck.
They pull your man card. That night, your man card got pulled.
Right. And now you throw in the fact that I saw videos of him recently like trying to freestyle and rap. Bro, you're not that guy. Like, go.
He never really was.
No. He was for the kids. And that's our... Listen, you think
parents just don't understand.
1990, we were fucking 13 years old. Yes. That's what he was for.
Right. And because he was only a teenager himself.
Correct.
He was a few years older than us.
Right.
So, like, we were like, oh, man, Will Smith. And then Fresh Prince of Bel-Air came out.
Yeah.
And at that time, he was a young guy still, probably 19 maybe.
But much like the one guy that was going to be on my list, and then I gave him a pass, was Tom Cruise. But in the very same vein, like you've had this.
Well, there was a period of time where he was off. Everybody was like, go away.
Right. And to me, he redeemed himself with Maverick.
No, but he also...
and he's calmed down.
He also calmed down the Scientology.
Right. So that's my number 5, Will Smith.
Right. My number 4, Ryan Seacrest. This motherfucker has not gone away for 25 years.
No.
He took over for Casey Kasem, which I don't like.
Dick Clark.
It's like, dude, you're forcing a guy down our throat that he was handsome, he's this, he's that, but Jesus Christ, dude, American Idol's not even the best singing show on TV anymore.
Right.
It's just, go away.
Yep.
Go away. Please go away.
My number 4 is a tie. But they're in the same vein. They are essentially the same person. Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair.
All wrestling, yes. Enough.
Guys, you have done so much damage to your character and your person in the last 2 or 3 years. You've unraveled 25 or 30 years of good by just being assholes.
Right, you wrung out the washcloth completely.
Right, and now neither want to be seen from or heard from.
Well, you know what it is? Both of them were a washcloth that had tons of juice in it, right?
Yeah.
And they've run that fucker out so much, now when you open up, it's a big shit stain on there.
Right.
You're like,
what is this?
We were drinking the juice off of this thing?
Yeah. Yeah, and listen, you've ruined it. Ruined it.
Assholes.
Yep. And again, that's the whole...
lies.
Don't meet your hero. Yeah, Hogan's the biggest
Yo,
liar.
I got Gmac when he started with Outlaw Blitz, brother.
Don't meet your heroes because they will disappoint you. Ric Flair was a drunk asshole.
Yeah.
So.
All right, my number 3, Howard Stern and Jimmy Kimmel. Howard Stern used to do. He was cutting edge. He was
Right.
edgy. He was vulgar. He was. You didn't know what he was going to say next. And then Jimmy Kimmel had the Man Show and all this other shit.
Yeah.
And
Kimmel's
now
guy, I
they're
don't know.
two fucking coin person, Libby, sensitive fucks.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you big hypocrites. I have a real problem with people that are hypocrites. Like, we're assholes. We say some fucked up shit, but deep down, we're not. We treat people good.
Right.
You know what I mean? In various
Sure.
other forms. These dudes shit all over everybody, did everything. They were so egocentric, and now all of a sudden that wasn't me. Do you forget what made throwing baloney at a girl's ass is what made you fucking famous, bro?
Right.
You know?
Having a chick sit on a fucking subwoofer
Well,
and
you
having a fucking orgasm live on air
right.
is what made you fucking popular and famous. And
Mhm.
now that's not you. Then
Right.
you're a fraud.
Right, and Jimmy Kimmel with the Man Show, with the chicks jumping with the fucking
On the
tits bouncing
fucking,
and
on the
drinking
fucking
beers.
trampolines and shit.
Yeah, and in blackface and all this other shit. And now you're gonna try to cancel anybody that is remotely,
Nope.
remotely character flawed.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you, both of them. Go away.
Number 3, maybe it's unfair, but I'm tired of her, Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I think it's just again oversaturation.
It's oversaturation in the NFL. Like, guys, I'm tuning in.
Well,
to watch fucking
she
football.
creeped into our world. That's what.
That's, I think, yeah. That's probably better said that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, too much of a good thing ends up being a bad.
I like her music, bro. I can't lie. There's some song. My daughter's a huge fan. I like her music. I don't get involved in all that. It's odd. You know what I mean? From person to person.
Yeah.
This list is interesting for this reason.
Right.
I don't watch a lot of regular TV.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like your phone, streaming services, things of that nature. So what a TV watcher is probably sick of seeing is going to be different than and somebody that's into reality TV, they're going to be sick of certain people. Somebody that's into, the fashion world, they're going to be sick of certain people.
Yeah.
The sports world, I'm going to be sick of certain people. You know what I mean? So, like, those things, I think it's all a matter of what your preferences are.
Yeah.
There's probably people in the political world that are sick of seeing certain people. But
Your 2?
my 2, The View.
Just all
general.
together. Okay.
Yeah. Like, so this all ties in. Like, I know political, blah, blah, blah. No one wants to hear those bitches anymore. I mean, I can't say no one. There's probably women. I met them blue hairs that were down there causing problems.
Causing discontent.
But the idea is people have been sick of your shit for years.
Right.
Whoopi Goldberg used to be one of the biggest foul-mouthed comedians. Another one, now, holier than thou. Joy Behar, another one, foul-mouthed, loud-mouthed comedian. And now all of a sudden you're canceling people. That'd be like fucking Joey Diaz coming out and starting to cancel
Yeah, him and Dice having a show and cancel people.
and just cancel people. You hypocrite fuck. And then, could you imagine? There it is. Instead of The View, Joey Diaz, Dice, fucking Andrew Schultz, Shane Gillis.
Yep.
Send them fuckers up there and then let
Tony
them.
Hinchcliffe.
Right, them 5,
Yep.
and they're the new View.
That would be wild. And
Yeah.
it would last one episode.
Yeah. Because
networks would be like, we can't have this.
Right, but that's the point, right?
Yeah.
So it's the hypocrisy and all that. The shit you've said for major parts of your career, and now all of a sudden you're canceling people and you're encouraging dumb shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't agree with it. Go away.
Yeah. My number 2, Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah,
I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, I've been done with him, so he didn't make my list.
His latest tirade, promo, interview, whatever the fuck you want to call it, McAfee, Pat had him on live via satellite.
After he got choked out
Yeah.
by Gunther.
Yeah. He basically came out. He is living in his own world now that he creates. WWE / whatever the fucking company, TKO. That's the
TKO,
company.
yeah.
TKO Sports, UFL, whatever. He has gotten such an overinflated opinion of his value in society, and
Well,
it's
everybody
crazy.
just loves him, right? The no bull shoes or
Right.
the fucking tequila. I get it. He's got a lot, but I don't buy any of his product.
Right.
So again, you're very involved in UFO these things. When you don't participate in it, it doesn't.
Right.
That's why I'm saying it's all based on.
It's subjective. It really is.
But I agree with you.
Yeah, done.
Like I've just kind of been like, dude, I'm tired of hearing. If he comes on, I just click him off.
And as an actor, John Cena's better.
Yeah, he's really not that good of an actor. He's just fucking huge.
He's huge.
I think one of his favorite movies.
Arnold,
I think my favorite movie he did was The Rundown. Arnold wasn't a great
Arnold
actor.
was never going to win the Academy Award.
No, but he was huge.
Right.
Yeah. I agree with you. And my number one, Ryan Clark and Oprah Winfrey.
Okay.
Oprah Winfrey, it's just been your time.
Ryan Clark we hit on,
but Ryan Clark
recently.
You woke piece of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when people call you out, you change the fucking narrative completely. I mean, Shannon Sharp could get in on this right now too.
Depending upon what side of the Shannon Sharp fence you're on, right?
But what he's doing to that young girl,
yes, fucked up,
right? And then a lot of people were tired of hearing Jason Whitlock, but Whitlock was like, "Listen, I warned you guys about Shannon Sharp, and I warned Shannon Sharp a year ago, and everybody said I'm an Uncle Tom. I hate black people. I'm a black. You know what I mean? I don't like him because he gets more clout than me." He goes, "It's none of that." He goes, "This guy plays a dangerous game, and now he's going to win a dangerous prize."
You reap what you sow.
Right. But Ryan Clark, you were supposed to be this hard-hitting, big Pittsburgh Steeler, blah, blah, blah. And then when Andrew Schultz punked your ass.
Soft.
Yeah. Like
super soft.
Yeah. Just what the fuck, dude?
My number one.
Just go away now.
Yep. My number one, Kanye West.
Yeah.
Done.
I've been done since he ripped the fucking thing out of Taylor Swift's hand.
Right.
All them years ago.
Right. And that's probably what started it. But the erratic behavior, you're wearing a fucking t-shirt, and you had a multi-billion-dollar clothing industry and deal with Adidas and put out, like, being a sneakerhead, some really fucking fire shoes.
Yeah.
The latest thing he released was a $20 fucking slipper. Costello ordered it, and he got it in. I'm like, I saw them on the internet. It's like something the hospital will give you.
Yeah.
You have the balls to fucking charge people this money. And then you're walking around, and now you shut down your website. You open it back up, and the only thing you're fucking selling is a fucking t-shirt with a swastika on it. What
dude is nuts?
Fuck.
Well, the dude's always had mental health issues.
Right.
He's always been fucked in the head.
You know, for everything you were.
But his music used to be good too.
That's the thing. For everything you were when you came on the scene, eradicated, completely fucking destroyed by the dumb shit you choose to do now.
Yeah, he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, idiot, genius, I don't know.
It's a thin line, right? It's a thin line you walk, but he's definitely fucking fell off the wrong side of that line.
Yeah, and it's just people in general that you get tired of.
Yeah.
So who are your people you're tired of?
Please comment and let us know who you are tired of as well.
Yeah, it's I think it's very subjective. People that watch Food Network are probably like, I'm fucking tired of Guy Fieri or whatever.
Now, if I had left a politician on there, and I swapped in Dwayne Johnson at number 2, I had AOC.
Yeah, that is a mess. I think I've said it on here before, and I don't know if I'm right or I believe I said it on here before. Do not be shocked if the 2028 presidential runoff for the Democrats is AOC and Pat Ryan.
Damn, that's juicing Pat Ryan up over the next couple of years.
Well, he's a military veteran.
Yeah.
Something about this area. Delgado came out of this area.
Yeah.
Pat Ryan came out of this area. I'm telling you, I just have this feeling he's going to be a presidential, and they like him.
Hopeful.
Yep.
We shall see.
We'll see. Anybody else? Anything else?
Nah, fuck that. Let's stop wasting our time on people that don't deserve our mentions.
All right. we are going to go to a newer game, right?
Yeah.
This is called Fill in the Blank.
Fill in the blank, and I got a good list.
We originally called it the best part of
That's
waking
right.
up.
That's right. So this is basically pop culture branding that has been ingrained in our psyche.
Yep.
To not forget them.
Maybe.
Breakfast of blank.
Champions.
And that is?
Wheaties.
Yes.
Breakfast of Champions.
Blank. The best a man can blank.
Oh my God. The best the man can get.
Correct.
Oh my God. Is it a coffee company?
Nope. But I use them quite a lot.
Gillette, the best a man can get.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, number 3. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe she's
not. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe she's not. I don't know.
Maybe she's Maybelline.
Oh, yeah. If you just said, if you had the tune of it,
Yeah.
maybe she's Maybelline.
Yeah.
I know the tune, but I don't know a lot of it you got to do like the best part of wake. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The song.
Yeah.
Oh God, I forgot that one. I wrote it down. Blank. The quicker picker.
Bounty. The quicker picker upper.
That's right. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
This goes back probably about 10 years. Maybe 15.
Can you hear me calling?
Nope.
What's it? What industry?
Think of a little man, a man with glasses.
Can you hear me now?
There you go.
It was well. What's funny is he was Verizon,
That's correct.
but now he's Sprint, or he moved over
to Sprint and T-Mobile.
Yes,
that's funny.
Yeah,
same dude.
Same dude.
That's awesome.
Can you hear me now?
Yep. Oh fuck!
When you just drew a blank,
I did. A couple blanks. It's finger
licking good
and
Kentucky Fried Chicken,
right? Which is now just called
KFC.
Yeah, they took chicken out of it completely,
which makes me scared.
It should. A, we know somebody who works there, and
Yeah.
B, what the fuck are you serving us?
We know somebody who works there.
Yeah, he's on. You
Don't tell me Max works there now.
No, you can see him in every post office though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's great.
Blank. Don't leave home.
Without it.
Yep.
The American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
Do you think of Willie Mays Hayes sliding into home plate?
Yep.
In a tuxedo? And what was this one? This is bugging me. Hold on. I thought I had this saying.
Every kiss begins with K?
Thank you. That's the one.
Every kiss begins with K.
K Jewelers. So pretty cool. I think this is definitely something that, with a live audience,
oh yeah,
would be big.
When we get to our road show, I think we could be like huge. That I'm telling you, our podcast works better as a road show.
Yeah. Oh,
just by the way we organize.
I think I told you. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. Last Saturday morning, early, like Friday night after I left work, went to do my laundry again.
The Suavitel gang get you?
No, nobody was in the laundromat, so it was in and out pretty good. But after I put my shit in the dryer, I left to go grab a drink from Wendy's and absolutely fucking hammered another pothole.
Oh yeah, you got a flat tire.
Another tire.
The same one,
the same one. Second in 9 days.
Where was the pothole? In Wendy's parking lot?
Nope, right in front of King's Mall on 9W. Which now, driving up today in the daylight, I looked to see, and they were out there patching all week, so it's filled in. But
so another $80 or whatever.
$99.
Yep.
Yep.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I hate our town, our road systems. They're
shit. My dad used to say, when you're back in Ulster County, fucking worst roads in the world.
Yep. A man of many sayings and much wisdom, and that is true.
Yeah, he used to complain about the roads all the time. So much that it like ingrained in my brain. I'd be, this fucking dude never shuts up about how bad the roads are. But then you get older and you're like, Jesus Christ, you're driving this area and
Right.
the roads suck.
There's fucking 600 potholes from here to James Way.
Yeah. Way past Froxcube.
Way past Froxcube.
Yeah.
So.
All right. We're done with that?
Yep.
All right. Let's move on to. We have done before. Is it overrated or underrated? You let us know.
Yes. Number 1, since you were just there, Nashville hot chicken.
I'm not a hot chicken person. I'll say overrated.
Okay.
It's good. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not that.
I've
hot.
had it to where it's too hot.
Yeah. Well, they have levels.
Yeah.
I've had like the medium hot. Good. Very good, but I'm not a big fan of like spicy chicken like that. Like buffalo chicken when it's buffalo chicken, but not.
That's like deep fried chicken that they basically dip in a spice laden oil.
Yeah.
That makes it completely.
Yeah, and it's like red.
Yeah, grab the sandwich, go to the toilet, break it up, and flush it.
Yeah.
That's where it's going to be in an hour.
Yeah, and it's going to save you the coolant on your.
Absolutely,
asshole.
yeah, 100%. No snow cones needed.
Yeah.
Number 2. This is a good one. College.
Well, I think overrated to a degree. I feel like it's overrated minus like specific lines of career.
Right. Agreed, because I know a lot of people with 4-year degrees or better that are not in the field that they went to school for. Because A, it was a hard job to try to land, the area isn't good for it, or they could go make more money doing something different.
Well, and that's the thing. It ultimately becomes about money, which it wasn't always that way.
No.
Jerry Seinfeld has a very interesting take on this. He's like, when did it become about how much money you made? It used to be who had the coolest job, and everybody kind of made same-ish money.
Yeah.
He's like, and then sometime in the 80s, probably when like all them dudes on Wall Street made all that money, it became like a thing. But, before that, it was like, oh, I sell tennis rackets. That's so fucking cool. Who had the coolest job?
Like Mike Negron's dad made, or I don't know if he's fully retired now or not, made piano keys and stuff for pianos.
Right.
That's a talent. That's a fucking a 1 in a million person who can go out and do that type of stuff. That's not an everyday thing you hear. That's a cool ass job.
Right.
And he made a living out of it.
Right.
So, number 3, membership clubs such as your Sam's Club, your BJ's,
underrated.
Costco.
That's what prevents them from becoming Walmart.
Yeah.
Could you imagine the trash bags at Walmart being the Sam's Club? The Piggly Wiggly group up there at Walmart.
No fist fights in Sam's Club.
Right.
Yeah.
Membership groups in general. Like if you're a membership to a golf course, it gives you exclusive, benefits. There's always benefits to memberships. I think they're underrated.
Okay. Number 4, being right.
Being right. Depending on the situation, could be either.
Depends on who the other person is.
It depends on the other person.
Situation.
Overall, overrated.
Yeah.
If you've ever been married, being right is highly overrated.
Super overrated.
Because if you're right, you're still fucked.
You're wrong. If you're right, you're wrong. It don't matter.
It don't matter.
Yep.
You're like, you're right, but you're sleeping on the couch, but you're right.
Yeah, you won the argument.
Yeah.
And here's your pillow.
You're getting no trim for a month, but you're right.
You're right.
Overrated.
Overrated. Number 5, TED Talks.
Underrated in the right atmosphere.
I feel we had our TED Talk at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, and
for that, there's a lot of good.
And we never really go full length into it because this isn't the forum.
Right.
There's not times that I'm opposed to sitting. I'm not opposed to sitting down here and doing a whole hour on something like that. But it's not the forum. But yeah, I think properly done, underrated.
Yeah, and I like the format. It's a very pointed, condensed subject. You get in, you're in and out. It's 10 or 15 minutes, and you keep it moving.
Yep.
It's not drawn out, and
Right.
that's what ends up making things to me.
Yeah. Where it's repetitive and
Right.
monotony, and you're just like, come on, dude, you've said the same thing. Or when people don't answer the question,
Right. Like
it's not progressing the conversation.
an individual that that could be very good at presenting a TED Talk.
That I know that could be
Yeah.
very good at it. Bob Goff,
Yep.
amazing. My brother-in-law Dwayne.
Yep.
It's people that have intellect and can carry a story and move the ball down the field.
Worst TED Talker you could think of that John Haidt.
Oh yeah.
I love you, John. But
The Private.
at times.
You know what I mean? Like he could stall out and get in. Yo, fuck that.
That's why. That's what makes conversations with the general fun for me.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, but TED Talk wise,
You can't implode in the middle of it.
right. Yeah.
Oh, and a little bonus: zoos.
Underrated. When the fuck would you ever see a giraffe if it wasn't for a zoo?
Right.
On TV, but you never see one like in person. Go, holy shit, them nuts are high.
Higher than giraffe nuts. They are high.
Yeah. Right? Like where else would you see a lion up close?
Right. Where else can you see an elephant shit pineapples?
Yeah.
Like pineapple-sized turds.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that at Catskill Game Farm. See the tail wagging.
It literally comes out like a fucking
thump.
like the big coffee cans back in the day.
What the
And
hell?
like 8 of them.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my god!
holy shit!
Peanuts did that?
Yeah. That's a weird thing, right? Like I've never seen an elephant actually eat a fucking peanut,
Right.
but like in every cartoon,
That's what they
elephants
eat. Peanuts. Yep.
and then like circus peanuts.
I love them.
I know, but I'm just saying, like circus peanuts. Who ties like peanuts to the circus?
And they're banana flavored.
And they're orange.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yep.
Underrated though, right?
Oh, super underrated. Extremely underrated.
You got quite the collage of colors going on there, bro.
I was thinking a very
shirt.
Miami Dolphin today
Ish,
for some
yeah.
reason. Yeah.
Yeah. You got white shoes on?
I have flip flops today.
White
They are
slides?
white and gray.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Old fucking Merino over here.
Dan, the Isotone
Yeah.
man.
So do you want to tell the AA story together? I don't know the story that you're thinking of, that he told the story about one of the guys was an alcoholic. He
Yep.
knew he was an alcoholic. And then he threw his life into his work, and he became one of the richest people there were.
But kept losing it all.
Well, no. So, yeah, right. So, but what happened was he magically was like, I never having an ambition to drink again because he was so involved in his work.
Yeah.
And he put all of his effort and all of his time into this next product. And he knew he's going to put everything into this product, and he's going to go here and he's going to sell it. And he went and he had the meeting. And ultimately, somebody underbid him, and they went somewhere, and he lost everything.
Yeah. And
he's coming back through the hotel.
he kept, so basically, we talked about it before, stock markets. He was on the cutting edge of the times. He was constantly investing money and doing big things, and then at the end of the day, something would happen, and he drank it all away. Time and time and time again.
So this last time,
Yep.
the very last time, he goes, he invents the product, he puts all his resources into it, and they went another direction. He comes down to the hotel lobby. He can hear the ice in the glass.
Mm-hmm.
He can hear, he's only a few feet from the lounge. He can hear the ice in the glass. He can hear the people having a good time. And he's being drawn to this. And he's like, I cannot go in there. And the only way I cannot go in there, I got to talk to somebody.
Correct.
And he goes through a phone book, and he calls everybody he can go through. He's calling churches and all these different, everything he can, until finally he gets a hold of this guy who says, he begs him basically to come down. And the guy comes down. And I don't know if it was the guy a priest.
Oh God!
I think that's how the
Oh,
religion
no.
pulls into it.
Well, that's when the program got created. They needed to find a higher power that was greater to them
So
than the power of alcohol.
So the guy comes in and he says, "You got 15 minutes," and that's it. And he talks to him about the call of that drink,
Mm-hmm.
and he's being called in there, and he shouldn't be like.
And the treatment.
And they end up talking the entire night, and that essentially was the first ever AA meeting.
Kept him from drinking.
It was an alcoholic kept another alcoholic
from drinking.
Yep. And then the next day, they knew they were onto something.
Yeah.
And then that.
Yeah, no, it's amazing the power of conversation with somebody who can identify with the plight you're currently having. Can save two people at once from having that drink. And now you go to your AA meeting, and they're very structured for a reason. You read your preambles, you go over the steps, and then you get into whatever that meeting is going to be about. But it is essentially, there. So people, whatever your stressor is that day, man, I really need to have a drink. Let me get to a meeting.
Right.
And that's the first thing. The worst thing you can do is self-isolate. And that's why I became such a bad alcoholic is...
You'd shut off from everybody and drink.
Exactly. Now going to meetings and getting that stuff out and realizing, fuck, I'm not unique, man. Everybody else in this room, all different walks of life,
100%,
all fighting the same problem.
He said he still goes to a meeting every day. Now, can you go? I'm oblivious to this. It's I'm not a drinker or anything like that. Can you go like to online meetings?
Yep,
they have them.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Loads. Oh, so if you're ever really
my app, the little blue chair app has a thing. You just type in your zip code, and it'll give you all your local meetings and a bunch of Zoom meetings.
So if you're going through it and there's no local meetings, you can hop on a Zoom meeting.
Yep.
And they're I imagine with Zoom being there's probably one starting every 10 minutes or something.
Well, it's funny, the pandemic made the Zoom meeting imperative because my sponsor was going through the pandemic, and a parent who was sick literally couldn't leave the house because he was taking care of a parent, was going through it. Zoom meetings got him through those tough times.
Right. That's good. You know what I mean? Like it's amazing how many things were created or by accident almost. Like that meeting was just one guy knew he was being called to drink just right there.
Yeah.
Just 10 feet away. But by pure fucking insanity, just dumb luck,
the byproduct
was
of talking to somebody else kept him from drinking.
Something that all of a sudden took over. But you know what I mean? Like that'd be something that'd be interesting to dive into in a future episode. Like what happened by accident?
That's a really good. That's a whole episode by in and of itself for sure.
Like you went to fucking chip away this stone to put in front of a cave, and you chipped the thing off and it rolled. And you went, oh shit, there's the wheel.
Yeah, right.
Like what? How many things happened by accident?
Penicillin.
Right.
That thing's rotten.
You ate the mold.
Maybe that has a use.
Yeah.
Let's find out.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It makes me wonder how many things happened by pure accident.
Yep.
You stumbled on it trying to do something else.
Yeah. They used to treat back then, AA alcoholics were treated much like people that were criminally insane. They went to psych hospitals, institutions, and doctors would try all sorts of things, but it didn't help until, like you said, have a conversation with somebody else. Oh, fuck. An hour's gone by and I don't have that urge to drink anymore. Right.
You got past the urge.
Yep.
I'm sure there's similar things in, NA and SA, Sex Addicts Anonymous. You know what I mean? Like there's probably things that you just got to get past whatever that urge is.
Yeah.
And a matter of how you get past that urge. Like, do you go work out? Do you talk in a meeting? It's interesting just to kind of go through that, and hear the stories and figure it out.
Yep. So you had a week away. It was work, but it wasn't work.
Yeah.
And it seems like you had an enjoyable time and you got a lot out of it.
Yeah, and there's more that I won't disclose on here that I got
Yeah.
out of it. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Like, I have a few ideas I'd like to try to help implement.
Yeah.
But, it's. I'll tell you one thing, man. Boston just turned 17. A week or so ago. I mean, by the time this comes out, it'll be like a week or two ago. And I remember being 16 years old and thinking the chick that was 24 was old.
Right.
Yeah, she's old. But time is relative, right? When you're 16, 24 is 8 more years ahead of you.
Right.
It's a third more of your life. A third.
Yeah.
24 now is only like half our life. You're like, fucking 24, that ain't old.
Yep.
Right? We both have kids that are in their 20s. My one daughter's like, oh, my friends are getting married, they're buying houses. I'm like, you have plenty of time. You're not even 25.
Don't rush it.
Do not rush it. You know what I mean? Like, time is relative. So.
And everybody's different.
Right. And I say that to say this. If you could go back and help people that were under 25, you would do anything you could to help them. Because you can make some real dumb fucking mistakes when you're under 25.
Oh, my God. Absolutely.
And it shouldn't carry you through the rest of your fucking life.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I feel like that if you're going to try to take one group and fix that, like try and fix them so they're not ruined forever.
Right.
They're the ones you give the second chances to.
Yeah.
Once you get to be 30 and 35 and you've done this 20 times, my chances are.
It's funny. Age brings wisdom, whatnot. As a young parent, I don't know, maybe it was the way we were brought up.
That sounds like Puglisi's out there where they're getting their eyelashes done again.
As a young parent, you're constantly, I don't know, maybe from the generation we grew up in, you're constantly trying to force your kids into a certain mold, into a certain path because you feel that it's best.
Right.
Age and wisdom shows you everybody's going to have their own path. Yep. And you learn to appreciate the individual.
Doesn't mean you don't want to smack the fuck out of them sometimes.
Right, listen, but that comes with life.
No, I know.
Making decisions comes with life, but I've grown to appreciate my boys as individuals for the way they do things and what makes them who they are.
Your boys are further apart than my girls.
Right.
What blows my mind is you raise them in the same household a year apart and how different they are.
Yeah.
Like your boys were 5 years apart, so they're always just
6.
It's always, what's weird about that. I had nephews that were like that.
Yeah.
Is just as this one gets out of Ninja Turtles, this one gets in.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're just never quite in the same thing. So there you can see like the divide, right? You were an only child, so you never had anything to really go against.
Right.
My sisters are 10 and 12 years older than me, so like that was completely different.
Yeah.
My son's, his sisters are 8 years older than him. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? Like, there's 8 years is a lot of time in how you change as a parent, how you age, how you whatever. So, all these things matter, is what I'm saying.
I grasp on to now. I grasp onto the things that keep us together, things that we do together that we can all do at the same time and enjoy. Like fantasy sports. Like me and both Max and Chris were in the same fantasy baseball league.
Right, you need them common lines.
Wrestling, we still have the stuff that we enjoy together. Football, yep. Sports in general. And then they have their separate interests. Like Max right now is into record collecting. It's huge, but we had a really awesome conversation over lunch on Tuesday? Monday or Tuesday, I can't remember. And it was cool. He had left me that day to go pick up a bunch of Elvis records that he said, "Oh, these were first presses, which are worth more money than second or third press." It's just cool.
Well, even that he gets from you because you were a card collector.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And Chris collected cards for a while.
It's so wild. So there was this conversation. I think we had a Boston's birthday maybe when I had cake for him, they were talking about how people who were set up for adoption never met their parent, and this girl just was a baby,
Mm-hmm.
but had some thing, like something in her body, DNA just said, I want to bowl. And she was a bowler. Come to find out, her real dad was a big time bowler.
Oh shit!
So it's almost like it's stamped in your DNA.
Somewhere.
You know what I mean? Somewhere. So
That's cool.
it's pretty wild.
Yep.
You got anything else going on?
Nah, man. Good episode. Yeah, as we're recording this, but I think as this comes out,
I think we're going to push it off 2 weeks this week.
right, and then you will have had a live episode.
We'll have a live episode in between. Yeah.
But as we record this, I'm a week away from going to the beach by
Good for
myself to go just sit and chill and people watch and relax.
I'm a
And-
week away from going to see Shane Gillis.
Nice.
When you go to the beach.
Yes, when I go to the beach.
So by the time we come back, those things, by the time this episode airs,
Yep.
oh, that was fucking amazing. It was great.
Yeah, it was awesome. It's over.
Yeah.
So, cool stuff, man. Good week, good fun episode. People we don't ever want to see again. And yeah, no, it was good.
All right, buddy, take us home.
All right, for Gmacs, this is Winnie. This has been the Outlaw Blitz podcast. As always,